What's going on, sports fans? I'm Mark Paulos. Tonight, we start the sports party on the hardwood where the boys state basketball tournament kicked off at regional sites as teams tried to punch their tickets to the Target Center. We'll start in Class 3A. The Byron Bears taking on the three-time defending state champion Minnehaha Academy Redhawks. First half, Byron wanted to show they belonged on the floor. Jake Broughton with the steal. Isaac Dearborn hits him in transition. Byron up 7-3, but after that, Minnehaha found their rhythm. Chet Holmgren shows why he's the #1 recruit in the country, blocking the shot, then spinning into a two-handed finish on the other end. Redhawks up 4, then later, Johnny Lee gets his pocket picked. Mercy Miller is off to the races. The 6'4 guard lays it in. Redhawks up 15 at the break. Second half, the Bears down 7. They made it a 4-point game. Jake Broughton hits Isaac Dearborn, who sinks the 3. Byron within 4, but the Redhawks had the answer. Next possession, Mercy Miller drives, gets the bucket plus the foul. Byron loses to the 10th-ranked team in the country. Minnehaha Academy advances with a 75-63 win. Next, we head to AA. Caledonia trying to advance to the state semifinals, taking on St. Croix Prep. First half, Warriors up 3. Future North Dakota defensive lineman Casey Schultz feeds Austin Klug down low. Caledonia up 5. Still in the half, Andrew Cornelius drives and kicks to Sam Privet, who connects from long distance. Cal up 12. They led by 11 at the break. Second half, the Warriors blew it wide open. Great ball movement ends with a Privet layup. Warriors up 15. Later in the half, Cal now up 22. Austin Klug wide open at the top of the key. That's buckets. Warriors up 25, then 2 possessions later, former athlete of the week, Andrew Cornelius, comes up with the steal, then throws it down. Caledonia is onto the Target Center. They blow out St. Croix Prep 81-52. They'll face Minneapolis North next Wednesday at 2. Now up to 4A, the Owatonna Huskies look to upset top-seeded and 6th-ranked Shakopee in the state quarterfinals. First half, Huskies down 2. Their deficit grows. Jonas Mohammed connects the long rebound. Then Cade McGraw sinks a 3-ball. Huskies down 5. Later in the half, Owatonna down 4. They made it a 2-point game. Center Evan Dushek sinks the baseline jumper. Huskies up now down 2. Still in the half, more Huskies. This time, Brayden Williams sinks one in the lane, but Owatonna trailed by 6 at the half. Second half, the Sabres came out on a mission. Mick Worley sinks a 3. Shako now up 12. Then a few possessions later, Sam West can't connect on the layup, but he gets the hoop plus the harm on the second effort. Owatonna falls to Shakopee 62-49 in the 4A quarterfinals. Down in Class A, Hayfield looking to upset top-seeded Legacy Christian Academy in the Class A quarterfinals. First half, the Lions raced out to an early lead. Harley Kendall Euro steps into the bucket. Legacy Christian up 6. Later in the half, Hayfield down 2, but Ethan Slothog gives them the lead. The 6'4 senior sinks a 3-ball. Hayfield now up 1. Second half, game tied at 27. Again, Slothog gave Hayfield the lead. He drives and lays it in. Vikings up 2. Later in the half, Vikings still up 2. Isaac Matty goes to work. He sinks the fadeaway jumper. Hayfield now up 4. Later, watch this. Slothog fires a dime to Matty, who lays it in as Hayfield was on their way to an upset. The Vikings are going to the Target Center. They beat Legacy Christian 62-43. They'll face Badger, Greenbush, Middle River in the Class A Final 4. Now to the state hockey tournament. Top-seeded Eden Prairie squared off against St. Thomas Academy in the first game of tonight's session. First period, no score. The Eagles strike first on the power play. Drew Holt cleans it up in front of the cage. Eden Prairie up 1-0. Second period, same score. The Cadets tie the game. Jared Wright intercepts the puck right out of the penalty box. He lights the lamp, and we are tied at 1. Third period, the Eagles pulled away. Jake Luloff finds Riku Brown, who puts it away. Eden Prairie now up 3-1. The Eagles are on to the state semis. They beat St. Thomas Academy 6-2. Eden Prairie faced the winner of this game, 5-seed Andover versus 4-seed Maple Grove. First period, game tied at 1. The Crimson take the lead on the power play. Ian Barbour fires one from just inside the blue line. That's a goal. Maple Grove up 2-1. Second period, same score. The Crimson made it a 2-goal lead. The puck goes out to Henry Nelson. He fires in a floater Maple Grove now up 3-1, but they weren't done yet. Later in the period, same score, the Crimson added another. This time it's Kyle Kukkonen tickling the twine. It looks like Maple Grove will play Eden Prairie in the semis. They lead Andover 4-2 in the third period. Now to the early action, just one early game this afternoon. Moorhead taking on Section 1 champion Lakeville South. Second period, no score. The Spuds take the lead on the power play. It's Harper Bentz scoring on the open net. Moorhead up 1-0. Lakeville South on upset alert. Third period, same score. South ties the game. Aiden Willis receives the puck. He takes a rip. He scores to tie the game at 1, with this one just sneaking past the goalie. Later in the period, South now up 2-1. They add to their lead. Willis scores his second goal of the game. Lakeville South beats Moorhead 4-2. They will face unseeded Wayzata in the state semifinals. Wayzata advanced due to a COVID issue on Hill Murray's side. Hill Murray recently found out they were exposed to a player with COVID-19 in the section championship. The MSHSL then ruled them ineligible to play at state. Wayzata offered to make accommodations to allow the game to be played, but the State High School League wouldn't play ball. In fact, a group of Hill Murray families filed a lawsuit against the State High School League in an attempt to play the game, but a Washington County judge denied their efforts, so Wayzata advances. And that's what it's sports on this Wednesday night. We'll be back.